Hey fellow riders, welcome back to Archaeonics, and today we got a topic that is sure to rev up your engines. We are diving into the world of motorcycle modifications that you can do in India, and also we are going to cover up what are the 10 most legal modifications that you can do into your bike, and also what are the 10 most illegal modifications that can get you in trouble. So without wasting much time, let's get started. First on the legal list is upgrading your exhaust system. Yes, many of you might be thinking upgrading your exhaust or changing your exhaust silencer is illegal, but just by making clever and sound decision about exhaust purchase, you can turn into a legal one. The key thing to note here is any exhaust that you purchase must be approved from ARAI, which stands for Automotive Research Association of India. This is an association where they conduct multiple research and developments, and also they do something called as homologation process. And in simple terms, this process is nothing but certifying a particular vehicle to meet road standards. So if you buy an exhaust that is certified by ARAI, then that means that exhaust is road legal and you can use that exhaust in any motorcycle. And one more factor to consider is the decibel output of your exhaust, as the noise limit must not go above 80 decibels. The next legal modification in the list is upgrading your stock lights into LED one. Yes, replacing your stock headlight with the LED one and improving your overall visibility while riding is completely legal. These upgrades can be in the form of upgrading your stock halogen bulb into an LED one, or installing auxiliary lights and making sure that you use only in the highways, ensuring that you don't blind the oncoming traffic is completely legal. So always ensure that they meet the specific guidelines before upgrading your headlights. Next on the list is upgrading your tires. Yes, I love upgrading tires, and let's talk about it. Upgrading to a better quality tires is legal as long as you stick to permitted dimensions. You can go one size or maximum up to two sizes up from your stock setup, and this can be completely legal. I have seen many people upgrading their tires from 4 to 5 points above than the stock limit, and for a matter of fact, this does more harm than good. By upsizing the tires into that level, your entire tire profile changes and your rims might not support the same. So don't be a squid, be a responsible rider. Now let's move on to the next modification, that is upgrading your air filters. Yes, breathing new life into your bike with performance air filters are completely legal as long as they are within the manufacturer's specification. This means you can purchase a performance air filter that is specifically designed for your bike and install it, and can be completely legal. But what makes it illegal is if you're using a conical filter wherein your manufacturer has provided a box type filter, then that is an illegal one. As you're modifying your bike specification that is provided by the manufacturer, that can bring up some problems. Next, tank pads and grips. Comfort means style. Adding tank pads and improved grips is not just legal, but a smart move for having a better control of your motorcycle and to improve your comfort level. So go ahead and do that. As with the tank pads and grips, upgrading your stock brake into a performance one and enhancing your stopping power with performance brake pads is not just legal, but also a smart move for your safety. Next comes installing aftermarket mirrors. Mirrors on the bike are mandatory, and upgrading into a better visibility one is completely legal and a practical enhancement. The next modification on the list is upgrading your suspension. Smoothing out the bumps and also upgrading your suspension is legal if it is maintained within the limits. Don't try to change the entire profile of your suspension, and using your desired dampers and springs is completely legal, and also it can be a game changer while you're riding for a long time. Next, frame sliders and crash guards. Safety is first. Adding frame sliders or crash guards for an extra protection during falls is not just legal, but a smart move for every rider. So go ahead and protect your bike from accidental falls. Now the last legal modification on the list is upgrading your horns. Yes, making some noise legally, yes, you can do that. Upgrading your horns is allowed as long as you stay within the specified decibel limits. If you're planning of upgrading your horns, try to purchase the horn which makes sound between 80 to 91 decibels. And if you are interested in knowing how to upgrade your stock horn, I have covered up a separate video on that, and the link is already there in the description below, so kindly check it out. So now let's see what are some illegal modifications that you must avoid, and if you have already done it, let's try to fix it. The first illegal modification in the list is obviously about the exhaust. And yes, any exhaust that is purchased without an ARAI approval is a big no-no, and let's keep it legal, guys. The next thing is the mandatory components that is already mounted on your bike. Safety first. Removing essential components like mirrors, indicators or reflectors is against the law, especially with the new standards of BS6 Phase 2 Many more reflectors has been added to your suspension and on the side panels, which are illegal to be removed. So don't compromise on safety and be a responsible rider. The third illegal modification is regarding the engine modifications. Yes, obviously the engine is the heart of your bike, and any unauthorized tinkering with it is a straight road to illegal trouble. Stick to the manufacturer's specs and ride safe. The next illegal modification is regarding the number plates. Stay true to your number plates, and doing any alteration in the format or size or any other styles is an illegal detour, so kindly don't do that and make sure that you follow the rules. Now next is all about the horns. Using the horns irresponsibly or using any sort of horns that exceeds the pre-described decibel limit is against the law. Keep it loud but in a legal way, folks. The next illegal modification that I want to speak here is extending the swing arms. Watch out for this one. Extending your swing arm might look cool, but it is absolutely illegal. And this can also mess up your bike stability too. So don't do that. Next in the illegal modification list, this is an usual one, and this is safety hazard, so be aware. Adding accessories that could pose a danger to you or others on the road is a strict no-go. These can include using of auxiliary lights that can blind the opposite oncoming traffic, or using it on the city where it is not at all required. All this is considered as an illegal modification, so kindly don't do it. Now next, any unapproved ECU tuning is considered as illegal. Tweaking your bike's brain or unapproved ECU tuning is a strict no-go. Stick to manufacturer specs to avoid legal headaches. So it doesn't mean that you cannot use a piggyback ECU, but completely retuning your stock ECU is considered as illegal, and use the piggyback ECU only when it's required. The next illegal modification in the list is unapproved nitrous oxide systems. Adding nitrous oxide systems without a proper approval is a recipe for a legal trouble. If you really want to use these systems, use only in the tracks and stay on the right side of the law. And the final one is paint jobs and decals. Express yourself, but register it. Changing of your bike's color completely or installing decals in such a way that it hampers the entire identity of your bike is considered as illegal. So if you want to do such things, kindly make sure that you register it and update it in your RC card. And that wraps up our guide on legal and illegal motorcycle modifications in India. And remember, rules might change, so always stay informed, ride safe, ride legal, and until next time, keep the throttle twisted. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching Archaeonics. Stay tuned for more such interesting content.